Like Tai Lopez. I didn't know that he raised a bunch of money and then technically lost it all.
He was buying bankrupt businesses.
You know, this guy's a scam. I called him.
I've seen multiple demons cast out, screamed, puked, and be delivered from demons.
Well, I know his name, and it wasn't Jesus. If somebody out in the world thinks being wealthy makes you bad, they were educated incorrectly. $500,000
a day. So if you're just starting out trying to make money, the biggest advice I can give is,
what it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you, especially if you like making money. You might recognize this dude from the interwebs, Ryan Pineda in the house.
What's up, man? Good to see you again.
Now, Ryan Pineda, folks, if you guys don't follow him on social media, you might want to. He's one of these guys that basically, you know, figured out how to go from flipping couches to flipping houses to building multifamily hedge funds to golf masterminds to frickin' coaching groups. I mean, dude, you've kind of just blown it all up into a full-blown businesses.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the plan, but here we are.
One after another.
Yeah. Kind of like you.
Why do you think there's so many people out there that can't seem to figure out how to make, let's say, their first 7 figures?
Lack of focus. I think they give up. They maybe have like 5 things they're trying to do at once and none of them take off. And so they just keep trying and trying instead of like focusing on one thing in the beginning. Because they'll see a guy like you or me who has multiple things and they'll be like, oh, well, that's how you get successful. But it's like, how long were you building VT before you did all this other stuff?
25 straight.
Yeah. And then, you know, you have all the other stuff afterwards.
Yeah. So what were you? You were playing baseball, got hurt, or what happened to your baseball career?
No, I just wasn't good enough. Dude, you got to be so good to play in the big leagues. I mean, it's kind of like social media and anything else. It's like the top of the top make a lot of money, but you know, you're in the minor leagues and you're grinding, you're making $1,200 a month. Like you're really good, but it doesn't pay. So I had to be an entrepreneur.
So you didn't cut it is the answer.
Yeah. Didn't get the job done.
Well, at least you freaking admit it. There's always people that never make it and they want to blame something. You know, I had an injury and some of it may be true, but you're the first one I've ever heard say it wasn't good enough.
Well, I mean, even with injury, it's like accountability. It's like, why'd you get hurt? Well, you probably weren't working out the way you should have. You weren't flexible. You didn't stretch. Like if you're constantly hurt, there's usually a reason.
Yeah. So you were playing baseball and you said, you know, damn, this ain't paying the bills. And then I remember your story from last episode. You've been on a couple times.
Yeah.
You started flipping couches.
Yep.
Just couches.
Yep.
Making a couple $100 on a couch.
Each couch.
And then you thought, damn, I can just keep making a little side money doing this.
Yeah.
And you turned that into what was after couches? Houses?
Houses, yep.
And then houses you turned into several.
Yep.
And then you turned that into what? Yep. Social media? When did you start posting on social media?
Well, I went from house flipping to, and I still do that today, but then I opened a real estate brokerage and that grew to 200 realtors. Then I opened up a tax firm and that grew into a multi-million-dollar business. I got on social media during COVID and then that's what led to like the education and community stuff.
Who do you think's doing it best?
For what?
These gurus online.
I mean, obviously you got guys like Cardone who've been around forever. You know, I think if you look at the guys who've been around a long time, like Cardone and Tony Robbins and even Dave Ramsey, I mean, these guys have done probably $1 billion plus in revenue. Then you have like newer guys like Hormozi and, you know, friend Dan Martell, like they're all doing great. So I think there's a lot of people doing it really well. I mean, Hormozi just had his, you know, the biggest book launch ever. So doesn't really get much better than that.
As far as doing it right, I would say, yeah. Like,
yeah.
How do you know how he did it?
A lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of money spent.
A lot of money spent.
Yeah.
I ran into him at the Crystals mall. Mm-hmm. And him and Layla walking by. It was weird because every time I'm in Golden Goose, Alex and Layla walk by because they live at the Mandarin. I don't know what it's called now, but basically they have a place up there. So every time I'm in there, I see them for some reason. Weird.
Yeah.
So they're walking by. So I rolled out there. I'm like, hey, number one, congrats. Cause I just saw it on social media that they broke like records. I'm like, dude, how did you freaking do it? He said, bro, first of all, $500,000 a day in ad spend.
Yep.
See, people don't realize $500,000
a day
for ad spend.
Yeah.
It's like, number one, who's got $500,000 they can spend? Number two, who's got the balls to spend it?
Yeah.
And then again, dude, Alex is a smart dude. He leverages that very well.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he, like, I mean, if it was a goal. I didn't talk to him that long. Do you know him? Do you talk to him?
Yeah. I don't talk to him that much, but I mean, he's spoken at WealthCon, you know, he's been on my podcast and we've done different things over the years, but yeah, I haven't talked to him much about it, but I mean, to your point, I think it's something, and he said this, he's been working on it since the last launch. So it's been like 2 years in the making of just planning this thing so meticulously. And then I think what it really showed too was it takes way more volume to do anything big than people realize. It's like, okay, it takes $500,000 a day in spend to like get enough people. It takes literally doing a 3-day like telethon. I mean, he was pitching for legitimately like 3 days straight to sell that many units. And it's like, people think they get on an hour webinar. Like it was a long pitch. I mean, this guy pitched for days.
Well, and also his previous 3 books were great.
Yeah. And so track record, brand, reputation. I mean, everyone was going to buy, but you know, I don't think people would have bought 200 books unless he presented it the way he did.
I'm just wondering what was the catch, like not catch, but bundle. What was the offer? Because he's always good with
offers,
making offers that are like no brainers.
Yeah, I think it was the $200, an AI, SOPs, a virtual workshop ticket. You know, so I mean, it wasn't anything like
crazy
that we haven't seen before. You know, because like even with the 200 book thing, that's like a super common thing with New York Times bestsellers. Like I'm sure you've met these authors. Like they go to people and they say, hey, if you buy $200 to help me get on the New York Times, then let's roll. So it's like it's not a new idea. It's been around forever.
You just think the volume of people
that did it was huge.
Yeah.
And then I think all the pre-framing around it was like also big.
Yeah. Do you have any aspirations of breaking records?
None that I'm aware of today.
Well, you're a little competitive, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So doesn't it make you want to like say, well, let me show you?
I think when I compete, it's in things I want to compete in. So like, I don't really care to compete in books. You know, we were talking about the golf mastermind. It's like, I like competing on the golf course. You know, I want to beat, golfers. Shooting scratch now.
Really?
Yeah.
Last time we played, you were what? About 8 over, 10 over?
Yeah, something like that. And that was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah. You just keep working on your golf game?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm competitive with sports.
Do you ever feel like maybe you could join the tour?
No.
Is scratch?
Bro, those guys are so good. But what I do think I can do is become like the best YouTube golfer. And I think YouTube golf might be more valuable than being on tour.
Well, popularity wise.
For sure. And I think earnings wise. Like I think that most golf is very much like baseball in that, yeah, the top 1% make really good money. Everyone else makes no money. The minor leagues of golf make no money. Even if you're on the back end of the tour, you know, there's like only 125 spots. I mean, if you're ranked 100, you're not really making that much money on tour. Like a YouTube golfer who's really good would make more.
But it's fun, number one.
Yeah, and there's no pressure to being a YouTube golfer, you know? Like you're not competing week in and week out. Like if you don't perform, you're out.
So what made you think of, hey, let's do a golf mastermind where we go out to these epic golf courses? Because everyone likes golf. They'll join just for that.
Yeah.
Let alone the conversation, the networking, and all the things masterminds do.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the bonus. Like if I were a golfer, and I know a lot of people are, I plan on being one eventually. But dude, it just takes so much time.
Takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of practice to be decent.
Yeah.
And as you know, I hit that bitch a country mile.
I got to tell people a story about playing with you. The funniest thing you do is the first time we played, you were like, yo, so if I hit it out of bounds, I quit the hole. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just don't finish the hole. I don't feel like I deserve to finish the hole. And I'm like, why? Like, just drop me. And you legitimately, every time you hit it out, didn't matter if it was the drive or in between, you just stopped the hole, you smoked a cigar, and like, you waited until the next hole. You still play like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, who's going to hunt for balls?
Most people, but not BL.
Dude, listen, we're out there to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Or are we out there to compete?
Well, I mean, you got to set the tone of what we were not out there to compete.
Right. And I'm not there to compete with anyone because I'll get my ass kicked. At the end of the day, I can swing a club and make contact with the ball. And sometimes that
it goes far.
Goes a long ways and it lands perfectly in the fairway. Then I walk up to the ball that's 40 feet from the hole and I knock it 70 feet past the hole. It's like, come on. So my rule is let's have fun.
Yeah.
So I smack it. And as long as it stays in fair play, I'll keep smacking it and keep trying to have fun. And I try to hit it right. But sometimes I underestimate or overestimate the club speed.
Yep.
I'm thinking, okay, hit it about that hard, should go about that far. And I'm dead wrong. So in order to get those clubs down and your mechanics consistent, you got to practice.
Yeah.
And dude, practice takes time.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to be playing golf.
Yep.
So I play once in a while.
Yeah.
I do the governor's black tie every year.
Yep.
Maybe I'll invite you this year.
I wish you would.
Well, I want to win the damn thing.
Well, you got a scratch guy right here.
I need 3 scratch guys.
I can recruit them. We got them all in our group.
Because I get knocks.
And they got money. They can donate.
Knocks on every single hole.
Yeah, you get some strokes.
It's a good time. It's a good time. They have a great tournament, dude. There's hole-in-ones that you can win $1 million. There's
I'm a member out there. I love it out there.
Have you done it?
I haven't done the black tie, but I mean, I'm out there.
Well, I mean, they got like STK Steakhouse on one hole making, steaks, and there's drinks and there's everything. Then they always bring in top talent for private concerts, silent auctions of quality stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good tournament. Like I've had people that always want to come.
And there's always high level people there, right?
The highest.
Yeah. And that was like back to your original question of why I started it, because I just realized I was always with the highest quality people on the golf course. It's like, not that I'm around low quality people everywhere else, but it's like, dude, rich people play golf. And, I was doing these golf trips randomly, for years. I'd be like, hey, we're going to go to this course and then I'll charge tickets and people can come, and they would always sell out in like a day. And eventually after doing it so many times, I was like, dude, I need to make something that's like all the time. And so,
because you enjoy it.
I love it. I love golf.
So it was by design.
Yeah, because I'm doing it anyways. And I'm like, well, this would also give me a reason to start a golf YouTube channel, to actually take the time to practice and be serious, not just casually be good.
Write everything off.
Yeah, everything's a write-off. The country club's a write-off. The lessons, everything's a write-off. The trips. And so, we launched it last month. It's called Mastermind 19. And the whole premise was that, a lot of people are in masterminds.
For the 19th hole?
For the 19th hole, exactly. And so we're going to play 18 and then mastermind on the 19th. And actually, like, not just have drinks, but be intentional with the mastermind and all that. But what ended up happening was, I launched it and the demand was way crazier than I ever expected. I didn't have enough salespeople.
Why wouldn't you have the mastermind and then the tournament?
So we do our events over a 3-day period. So we're going to play 3 rounds of golf, 1 each day. And then the other half of the day, we're going to have an actual mastermind. And what I found was, you're a part of masterminds and you've had your own and stuff. And this because you're like a fun guy, but most masterminds are kind of lame.
Most of them,
you just hang out in a classroom or a ballroom and like talk for 9 hours, or somebody talks at you. And I'm like,
which by the way is not a mastermind.
Right. If they talk at you, a mastermind's when you guys talk.
Well, a real mastermind should be no more than 20 people.
Yep.
And it's everybody contributing, which constitute the mastermind. The mastermind is multiple minds on one problem.
Yep.
So like if a real mastermind that I've been to, I state my problem and then I have 19 people give me resources, advice, and solutions for that problem.
Yep.
And so like, that's why it's called a mastermind. Now everything's a mastermind and you show up and it's really 8 hours of talking and listening to this guy talk and listening to that guy talk. It's like, that's not really a mastermind, but I see why they call it that.
Yeah. And I agree. And that's why, like, with the format we have, it's small by nature because we're just going to these golf places. It's not like I can bring 100 people to go golf. So all the events are small by nature. You go have fun. You go to bucket list places. Everybody has to be making over 7 figures to be in it. So you know that everybody's bringing value and has real problems and other things. And
I'm going to start one called Whiskey and Wisdom.
People would buy it.
I know.
Like people.
But we're not going to go golf. We're going to go drink whiskey, smoke cigars, and solve problems together.
Well, and go to exotic whiskey distilleries and locations and like different things where like the best whiskey is. Like you could do this with hunting if you know you're a hunter and you know rich people like to hunt and shoot guns and whatever, right? Like this idea of an experience-based mastermind where the experience is the thing that ties you together versus like industry, because most masterminds are industry-based. This is like, no, dude, we have people who are in finance, people who are in logistics, people who are in all these different things, but we all share the love of golf. And
that's a good one though.
Yeah, golf is like the perfect one.
And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, smart. See, number one, you love golf. Number two, it does attract players.
High-end people.
Players. Yeah, I call them players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude's a player.
Yep.
And people will join just for the experience.
Oh, yeah.
The mastermind's like the bonus. Usually the mastermind, they're trying to get their problem solved. And then, you know, if you see somebody perform, that's the bonus.
Yeah.
Well, here, dude, I'm joining for golf mainly.
Yep.
And then the mastermind's a bonus.
Yeah. And now it's a business write-off too.
Yeah. For everybody.
For everybody. Right?
So obviously listeners that are playing golf, where do they join or try to join?
Yeah. They can go to mastermind19.com. Tell them Brad sent you.
Say the bomb squad.
Say the bomb squad.
And I get paid nothing, by the way, folks.
Yeah, but we want to know.
You don't have to say Bradley sent you.
But yeah, I mean, that's where it is. And they apply. And yeah, I mean, we have probably 8 trips planned next year, like Pebble Beach, Pinehurst.
Which one's the best in the country? Augusta?
Yeah, Augusta is probably like the bucket
Augusta.
list. Well, ironically, the GM of Augusta is a member.
Yeah, but you can't get on Augusta. If you can get on Augusta, bro.
I can't get 30 people on Augusta, but I can get on Augusta.
Yeah, but you can't bring the group there.
I can bring a few.
Dude, I'll go to that one.
Okay.
I went there for the Masters once, saw 3 people hit a hole in one.
There's a guy who actually just joined the group building a private club next to Augusta. It's like 30 minutes away. It's called 21. And that club is like $250 to $500K to join. And he just joined M19. And
he's a member?
He's a member. Dude, I'm telling you, the amount of people we've had join, I've been shocked at like these people reaching out.
Well,
like,
yeah, because they like golf.
I know. They're so high end.
Players play golf.
Yeah. And like this dude.
The only other one would be polo.
I don't know that players play polo.
Fencing. Oh yeah, dude. When you see
there's just less people playing.
Yeah, but when you see truly wealthy families, they're not playing basketball.
No.
They're not playing baseball. They're not playing football. And they're not even playing hockey. They're playing polo, fencing, golf.
Tennis.
Like golf's the low level out of all those.
Yeah.
Like truly wealthy people, they're not playing those games. They're playing prestigious la-ti-da games. And I think there's reasons for that. That's why.
What do you think? Why do you think they play those games?
To be surrounded by the right people. Like
yeah,
if you have
because only
kids,
rich people play those games.
Yeah, if you have kids, you put your kid in on a polo team, dude. You know that those families are all.
You got to own a horse.
Yeah, those families are all well-to-do, and they probably are, better curated for your children to be around.
Yeah, I mean that's why you move into neighborhoods. I mean, we joined the country club here.
Where do you live?
Right here, Southern Highlands.
Oh, you moved to Southern Highlands?
Yeah.
I'm over at Dragon Ridge now. Didn't that where we played?
No, we played at Southern Highlands, but I used to be a member at Dragon Ridge too.
So you're a member here now?
At Southern Highlands, yeah. And, but it's the same deal, right? Like when you join a country club where it's 6 figures plus to join, and just by default, you already know that these people have got to be legit.
You ever get the candied bacon over there?
Yeah, it's good.
The best.
Dude, I eat there all the time.
You know Gary?
I don't know him personally. I mean, I've seen him around, but I've never sat with him.
Yeah.
There we go.
He's a funny guy. Good
guy.
Yeah. One time, I forget what hole it is. Let's say 13th maybe, but there you shoot out and there's trees lining it. Well, his buddy that used to beat him would, somehow curve it this way and end up where he couldn't get, supposedly. So Gary just had like 10 more trees planted to where he couldn't go that way. So now, if you know the one I'm talking about, that's
hole 6.
Yeah. So like you can't do that anymore.
You have to hit it straight.
So imagine being the owner of the course and you just install 10 more trees so your buddy can't beat you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard people say that because we play from the back and like, it's definitely not made for people playing in the back.
Why don't you buy a team for the black tie?
Dude, I just have never really looked into it, but I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, if you want your own team, or you can just play with me because I want to win one.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Me and my buddy Matt always play.
Okay.
Next year.
So we need me and one other person.
I need 2 ringers.
But we're going to get penalized for our handicap. Like you kind of.
But I equal it out because I get the max.
Okay.
And dude, I do get lucky, 2-3 times around.
Yeah. You hit a bomb.
Yeah. So folks, if you guys want to join I mean, how do you have so many people? Like what if 1,000 people want to join? You can't take that many golfing.
Yeah, we can. So,
how do you do it?
So in the first month, we already had 100 people plus join from all over the world. And really, I think it actually gets stronger with more people. I don't know if you've ever heard of like YPO or EO or Tiger 21 and those things, but what I always tell people, it's like that for golf. And like I was a part of YPO for a long time, and what they end up doing is they have like 30,000 members across the world, and they end up starting local chapters and forums and all this stuff. So I think what happens is local chapters start to begin. Everyone in Vegas or SoCal or whatever will be able to link up, play with each other, go to private clubs all over there. If I'm going to Florida, I can go hit up members in Florida and go play at private clubs there. So I think the network effect is better for everyone. And then when it comes to events, all we have to do is just add more events to fulfill demand. So I think like when I first launched it, I only told people, I go, hey, next year we're going to have 4 events. But because the demand was way more than I thought, I'm like, we're going to have 8 next year. And then eventually I could see it being weekly, monthly, whatever the number is to fulfill the amount of events that the group demands.
You're just unfortunately needing.
I got to keep playing more golf. Well, no, I don't. At that point, I don't have to go weekly. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, next month I gotta go to 8 events.
Yeah, but a lot of people are going to want to go because they want to hang with you.
Yeah, but I mean, if the mastermind is so strong, it's not about me at that point. Dude, there's already way more people, like way more big in business than me, talented than me. Granted, I'm the founder, but like it does not need me. Initially, sure, but it'll get so big at some point that I'm not required at all.
So I wonder if I could do, because I've always wanted to put together a real one, but I've never been able to put together a really good, solid one that I feel
a mastermind.
Yeah, that I feel good about. In other words, like I need to believe in it. I'm not like your average online guru where
you just host all the gurus.
Like, give me your money and we'll figure something out. Like, I don't do that. Like, I need to know that you give me this money and I'll return that or more in value for sure.
Yeah.
Or I won't do it or I won't offer it.
Right.
So I've offered a mastermind. I did a not a mastermind, but a group one time with a online guru buddy.
Uh-huh.
And all we did was every call was talk about the same shit. And I'm like, dude, we got to build a curriculum. We have to like literally like get inside their business and move them from where they were when they found us to something better than they found us. And every weekend it was just the same call.
You want to hear something funny?
And I said, stop it. I'm done. And we had to end it.
Wow. So the other thing that I changed about this versus other masterminds is, if you start a mastermind, I don't know, 30, 50K, 100K, like some of these things are like Tony's mastermind's like $250,000.
Yeah.
With that, right? Usually they have, I don't know, however many events a year you promise. And if you don't go to the events, you're just kind of out of luck. Like you still pay the normal price. The way I did it with this was like a country club in that you just pay annual dues. It's only $5,000. From there, you just pay per event you actually want to attend. And so everything is included in the event. So they'll pay like $5,000 to go to an event. It'll include all the rounds of golf, the food, the lodging, the mastermind, collectible swag, all that stuff. So now it becomes this thing where it's like, you're no longer being penalized for not showing up to an event. You will get exactly what you pay for. And that's something that's always been like in the back of my mind about masterminds, where it's like, yeah, if you don't go, then it's not valuable.
Revenue wise, is this the biggest thing you've ever done?
I think it will be.
Not yet though.
No, but I mean, in the second month, it'll pass 7 figures. And
net? Because a lot of people don't realize, like, you got expenses at all that.
But not really. In this first, a membership doesn't really cost me much.
Well, it doesn't cost you anything if you're not paying for anything out of that membership.
Right. Now, we give them cool stuff. We give them swag. We give them a custom vessel bag. You know, they're in the community. But kind of my point is, the membership, the way I'm running it is kind of like Costco, where the membership's the profit and then the events are almost at cost.
You bringing in people to talk to these guys at the 19th hole?
So on the masterminds themselves, I'll probably bring like one person a trip who actually golfs too. So who will like spend the 3 days with them as like, a famous person or whatever. Because I already have a ton of famous people who golf and they're like, bro, I want to go to an event. I'm like, dude, I'll fly you out. It's on me. Just come hang out with everybody.
Yeah. Everybody loves golf.
Yeah. So that part's easy. But the reason I say I'm kind of running it like Costco is like, Costco doesn't really make much on the products themselves. You know, they make money on the membership. And so for me, it's like, as long as I can just provide enough events and ways for them to connect at like the lowest price possible, they're going to just love it. And then they're just paying this membership a year and that's my profit. It's like a win-win for everybody. And even if they never went to an event, they're still going to get access to the group. They're still going to be able to go network with people, book tea times with each other outside of our events. Like, even if they never went on one of the big bucket list trips for $5,000, being in a group with, let's just say there's 1,000 members at that point and they're all making over 7 figures, like you will find a way to get value.
Yeah. And bring value.
Yeah.
So that's going on, mastermind19.com.
Yep.
So there's that, folks. If you enjoy the golf and like hanging out with the Richies. So how's the family?
Well, the wife's due any day now for number 4.
Again?
Yeah.
Dang.
So we'll have 4 kids, 6 and under. I'm catching to you. How are you at now?
7.
I guess I don't know that I'll
but
get
not
there.
6 and under.
Yeah.
You got me beat. I only have 1 that's under 6. 3. I have 3, 10, and 12 at home. Then obviously 4 more that are full grown adults.
Yeah, your range is massive.
Yeah.
What's the range?
And you've had them all with 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had them with 4.
You're crazy.
Well, it was a different time back then.
You're a different guy back then.
Yeah. You were playing baseball and I was playing hardball. But at the end of the day, we all have our own era that we grew up in. How old are you?
36.
36. Yeah. To be 36 again. You're more advanced, obviously, than I was at 36, because I still believe, like, right now I'm mentally maturing to where I probably should have been at 30.
What do you think is like something that's changed for you mentally?
Just time. I feel now like I probably should have at 30. But at 30, I was thinking like I was probably 16 to 20.
Like, what's
and
a
then,
belief?
And then at 40, I was probably, mentally 25 or 30.
Yeah.
And then at 50, I was 30. And now I'm 56. And now it's like, wait a minute. I see what everyone was talking about.
Back then.
Yeah. Things are a little less crazy. Like, in other words, I like to go home. I'm not a big drinker anymore. I don't care about partying. Mm-hmm. I get invited to all kinds of things that people would kill to get in, but it's just loud, obnoxious drinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't care. And they're like, dude, we're going to get on stage with so-and-so and we're going to be in the back with the VIPs. And I'm going to be like, dude, there's going to be a lot of loud music, drinking, and fake conversations.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to go home, hang with my kids, chill.
Yeah.
I should start a mastermind and chill.
Do a dad mastermind.
I think a mastermind and chill, because you got to enjoy it. Like, you enjoy golf.
Yeah, I love it.
And I like golf, and I'll love it when I'm doing it.
When you're better too.
Yeah. But until then, that's what I mean. Like doing it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'll kick your ass because I'm competitive when I want to be. I don't have the time to get as good as you. Yeah. I don't have the time to get good, period. But bro, I'm an athlete. I ran a 4.440. You know that.
I don't know that.
It's a fact. You can look it up.
Like we got to post it.
4.440. Yeah, I was an athlete. I just didn't have good parenting and didn't realize I was as good as I actually was. But nonetheless, now obviously you're into your faith.
Yeah.
Is that a part of the mastermind? Does everybody got to be a Christian?
No. But I mean,
can I be a Muslim?
You can be a Muslim, but I'm still going to pray.
But there's no, oh, so you are, there's praying going on.
Well, I mean, I just do it on all my businesses regardless.
I know, but like, Wealth Kingdom, what's it called?
Yeah. We rebranded to Tent Makers, but yeah, Wealthy Kingdom.
Yeah. So like, when you go there, everybody's praying.
That is purely Christian. I mean, that is a Christian, that's a nonprofit Christian ministry. But, in my normal businesses, I mean, if I'm buying houses for flips or we're doing M19 or I got Wealthy Investor, those are all just normal everyday businesses that anyone can,
let's call them secular
businesses. But I still pray during all those businesses. Like I'll pray for the employees. If we have WealthCon.
Privately or publicly?
Publicly. Yeah. And then like even at WealthCon, I mean, I forgot about that. You're speaking at WealthCon.
I am?
Yeah.
When?
I forgot what day you are, but
you better tell me because I forgot too.
I know. I forgot too. October 30th to November 2nd here in Vegas. I got to see what day you're speaking.
Well, I will be here, so we're good.
Yeah. But at WealthCon, it's a secular event. We're teaching them real estate investing, but like I have a worship night and we pray. Like,
what church you go to? City Lights?
Yeah, City Light out here.
And you keep telling me to come with you.
You want to come this week?
Not this week.
Okay.
One of these days I will.
All right. I'll save a seat right in front.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not big on organized religion.
Uh-huh.
I'm more faith-based.
What does that mean?
That means I don't believe you need to go to a church with a bunch of people, that half of them are cheating on their wives.
Half's an overstatement, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you got dirt balls at your church.
For sure.
And then there's churches that like understand their leaders are dirt balls and they just move them to another church.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that can't be real. So at the end of the day, I call that organized religion. Okay. It's just men getting together, people getting together, and people are sinful.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I don't need to listen to this group of people. Now, to fellowship and go to a church once in a while, sure, that's fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like belong to a certain church only because to me, that's organized religion.
Yeah.
And I think faith is all you technically need to be okay.
Faith is all you need to be saved, but the moment you're saved, you go through sanctification, which is to just become more like Jesus. And, if you look at Hebrews 10:25.
Jesus didn't go to a church.
Jesus went to the temple. He grew up as a Jew in the temple. He partook in everything.
So then why aren't you Jewish?
Well, let me finish the thought and I'll answer that.
Hold on though. You said be like Jesus. He was Jewish. Why don't you be like Jewish people?
Well, because now we have the new covenant. So Jesus grew up a Jew, and once he died and was resurrected, he created the new covenant. But Hebrews 10:25 says, do not give up in meeting together as some are in the habit of doing. And basically he's saying like, look, you guys got to get together constantly. Don't like the moment you get isolated is when you start getting into stupid problems and doing stupid things. Like isolation is not good for anybody. Fellowship is always good.
Yeah.
And so, how often do you need to get together? Sure, it's subjective. Should you get together every Sunday? I mean, I think you should.
Why Sunday though?
Well, I think you should get together even more than that is my point. Like we have our Bible study at my office every Wednesday. And so it's like, we're doing that. We're doing Sunday. We're doing everything.
What in your Bible study, somebody opens the Bible and reads a passage and you talk about it? How does it work?
That's how originally we started, and we still do that sometimes, but then other times we have an entire curriculum. And so we'll read the passage from that curriculum, and then it's got commentary kind of walking us through what we just read.
Are you guys still using the man given name?
We still call him Jesus. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, that's just the part I don't understand, especially with devout people such as yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you would fancy yourself devout.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this for many, many years.
Yeah, but not long enough. Because again, at the end of the day, dude, that wasn't his name. That's a fact. You can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't his name. So again, your name is Ryan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone were to try and convince me that your name's Ralph, even though you accept the name Ralph, you go by the name Ralph, people know you by Ralph, but I know you really know you.
Mm-hmm.
And your name originally is Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Now he goes by Ralph. Well, who decided to call you Ralph? Well, if you decided to go by that, that'd be a different story.
Mm-hmm.
If your father decided to change your name, that would be a different story. But you, my friend, and your father said your name is Ryan. You also said that your children will know your name. So if someone asks me, who is this? Well, I know his name, and it wasn't Jesus. His name was not Jesus, and it still isn't Jesus. He's just known by that. And then a lot of people say, well, he has many names. No, he doesn't. No, he does not. He has one name. He's only given one name. The Creator gave him one name, and that's his name. So all the other names, I'm not saying you're going to hell if you don't use it. I'm not saying anything negative for all the Bible thumpers. What I'm saying is, if you know his name, why not use it?
Yeah. So my response would be, whenever we come up with issues like this, you know, it's like,
but it's not really an issue, Ryan. It's a fact.
Well,
you can look it up.
Yeah. But my point is, whenever you come up with an issue like this with another believer, for me, it's just like, look, if you're convicted about that, I'm definitely not going to argue against it or try to push you to like.
I know, but it's not a conviction. It's a truth.
I mean, if that's your conviction, but I mean, even in the Bible, there's many names for God in the Bible. It's not just Yeshua.
They're not names. They're titles.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not names. They're titles.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, Isa in certain languages, Elohim, you know, Adonai. There's a lot of names, but they're not names. Mm-hmm. They're titles. He had one name, and the Creator's name was Yahuwah or Yahweh. Now, some people can say, well, he was called all these other things. I agree. Yeah. But what's his name? His name, you can look it up. Again, any biblical scholar, even including that Will guy, what's his name? Wes or Will?
Oh, Wes Huff, yeah.
Wes Huff will say the same thing.
Yeah.
So will, you know, the other guy, Connectly.
Yeah, Cliff.
You know, he's always
Cliff and Stewart. Yep.
Yeah, he's at the
campuses.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah.
He'll tell you the same thing. Now, again, what people try to do after that is explain to you why it's okay now to call him Jesus. And I'm not saying it's not okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that's not his name. That wasn't his name. And we know that wasn't his name because the letter J didn't even come around until the 1500s. So his name wasn't Jesus. It was actually Iesus, and his name wasn't Iesus either.
I mean, what is your real name?
My real name is Bradley.
Bradley. That's what I would have thought, right? No one calls you Bradley.
Doesn't matter. That's still my name.
I know, but you respond to Brad, and when you introduce yourself,
I respond to King.
But when you introduce yourself,
but that doesn't make
you
it
don't
my
call
name.
your name Bradley. You say, "Hey, I'm Brad. I'm BL. I'm this."
Did Jesus introduce himself to you and say, "My name's Jesus"?
He's called himself multiple things.
He called himself Yeshua. He didn't ever say the name Jesus his entire life. Ever.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about different titles is what he referred to himself as. The Lamb.
Yeah.
The King of Kings.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But he also said, I am the Word. Well, why don't we call him Word?
Some people do.
But that wouldn't be his name. That'd be a title.
Yeah.
See, again, me and you go back and forth because I can read micro expressions. And when I'm talking to you, it's almost like you're listening and then you go, nope, because it's almost like I'm not going to go that direction. And I'm wondering.
Well, because there's not like a point to argue about it.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, why are so many people so afraid to just look at the truth? Because the truth is the truth.
His name is Yeshua. Where do we go from here?
That's it. You don't have to go anywhere. That was
so never use a title for him.
No, you can say anything you want, especially if you have the right intent and the right heart.
Yeah.
It's not my issue. My issue is if I didn't know your name was Ryan and I kept calling you Ralph and you didn't mind and I thought your name was Ralph, and then somebody said, you know his real name? And I go, no, it's Ralph, isn't it? And they're like, no, it's actually Ryan. And I found out that that is the truth. Well, then if you prefer me to call you Ralph, I'd always honor you and call you by the name you want.
Yeah.
But if I found out the truth, I would say, is your real name Ryan? And if you said, yes, it is. And I would say, would you like me to use that? And you said, I would prefer it, actually. I'd never call you Ralph again, ever.
Yeah.
Now, the only argument that I have is the 10 Commandments. One is to not take the Lord's name in vain. So vain means to make meaningless. How much more meaningless can you make it by not using it? So in other words, don't make this bottle meaningless. Well, if you never touch the bottle again, you're making it as meaningless and useless as it can be because you're not using it. So it's useless. He said, don't make my name useless, meaningless. To not use it is doing that. So to me, I'm like, well, now that I found his real name, because that is his real name, and no one will argue that, his original creator-given name, I'm just going to use it. Why? Well, because that was his name.
Yeah.
That's it. That was his name. And if you go seek, I'll bet you will come to a point where you agree and you'll still say, yeah, but Jesus, everyone knows Jesus. So what? Like, why not use his name and honor him? And if you really want to honor him, why wouldn't you use his original name?
So I think it just goes into the context of who you are talking to. And this is biblical too. So, you know, the disciples had different names too, right? So 100%. Peter's name was Peter and Cephas, and, you know, Jesus renamed him to the Rock. And, you know, one is a Greek name, one is a Hebrew name. And so if they're around the Greeks, they've got a Greek name. If they're around Jews, they've got a Hebrew name. And so I think it just depends who you're talking to, right? Like not everyone calls you your nicknames, but your friends do, because that's the context. And so I think the context matters for everything in life, the Bible, what it's saying, everything else. And so, yeah, I mean, unless you can go talk to Jesus right now, and this argument is that, hey, you know, Jesus, we know your name is Yeshua. We know that, you know, everyone
requested that we use it.
Well,
gave praise to it.
Right. What do you want us to refer to you as? We just don't have that because he accepted the other titles that everyone was calling him. It's not like that he ever corrected them in the Gospels of being like, stop calling me Christ. Stop calling me the Messiah. Stop calling me these things. He never said that. So if you're just going on the argument of what he will accept, he didn't ever say, don't call me these things.
Right. So that's why to do it, because he didn't ever tell you not to.
Well, that's your whole argument. Your whole argument was, hey, you know, your name's Ralph and that's what everyone's calling you and you don't seem to mind it. And then, you know, I ask you and you're like, oh, I want to be called Yeshua. I want to be called Ryan. Like that's my real name. Well, we don't have that from scripture where he does that exact sequence of like.
One of the scriptures says, you and your children will forget my name for Baal, Baal, which means deity, which means God.
Yeah.
So
Baal worship was happening in the old covenant.
I know, but Baal, if you look up the word, means God, deity.
Yeah. Fake God.
Yes. But God nonetheless, that's deity. So basically you'll forget my name for God. And what do people call him? God. And it's like, God isn't his name. God is a title. He prophesied that you and your children will forget my name for God.
I don't know what scripture that is.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
And when I show it to you, it's like, these are the things I'm looking at.
I'd have to look at the context of who wrote it. Who are they talking to? Like, I don't even know the exact scripture you're referring to, but kind of my point.
Who wrote it? What does that matter?
It really matters.
It matters in the Bible who wrote which book?
Yes, it matters who wrote it. Who were they writing the letter to? Who was it applicable for? Because just because
it was God talking.
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Was it God talking? Was it Moses talking?
It was actually Yahuwah or Yahweh talking?
Those are the questions I'm asking. I don't know who said it, who wrote it, who he was addressing, what the situation was. Like, it's context, but it just goes back to, like, your original argument was, hey, like, if I found out that was your name and I asked you what you'd want to be called, then cool. And it's like, well, the Bible does give us that. Like, he was being called these different things. He never told them otherwise. And here we are.
So what's the problem?
And until he comes back on earth or we go to heaven, we can go ask him. And then he's going to be like, dude, Brad, thank you. You were right.
No, he's going to say, listen, my son, you were 100% correct. However, I'll bet he's not going to be mad at people that didn't know. And I don't think he's going to be mad because you didn't figure it out. It's not like a puzzle.
Yeah.
But when I read the scripture, my children will know my name.
Yeah.
I just take it for what it is. That's literally what started me down the path. My children will know my name. And I'm like, well, what was his name? And for a long time, I thought it was Jesus because that's what they said it was. When in reality, no, first of all, it's Yahuwah or Yahweh. And then the son was Yeshua.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. And so I started searching more and more and more. And then you start to realize, oh, I get what happened. In 325 in the Council of Nicaea, they created the Nicene Creed. And they basically didn't invite the Jews. The Jewish were not allowed to be in that because Yeshua was a Jew. And by the way, he's already been gone for a while now.
Yeah.
So what they did is they said, okay, we got to all come together or we're going to have an issue. So we're going to honor each religion in our own little way. And we're going to base it on Christianity, which it wasn't called Christianity back then. But we're going to base it on that. And we're going to worship on Sunday. Well, why? If you were honoring Yeshua, he was a Jew. Why wouldn't you worship on the same day he did? Because they didn't want to. They were against him. So they worshiped on Sunday. And Sunday was actually a religion. They worshiped the sun. Well, so the Sunday worship was to honor the sun worshipers. And then, the varying things. And if you look into this, you'll start to notice like, hey, there is some truth to this. Or I think anyway, because again, who knows? No one was alive back then that's still alive.
We need to get
but if you look at history, you can see that this combination of rules came together.
Yeah.
And that formed the new Christianity. And that new Christianity said, if anyone doesn't agree with these things, let's kill them. And they began to kill anyone who didn't agree or align or abide by this. Now, do you think that's godlike?
No.
Exactly. So they went on this big inquisition and started killing anyone who disagreed with this new ruling, which is what it was, the Nicene Creed. And they killed everybody who didn't want to go along. So at the end of the day, what would you do if you were alive back then? You'd either go along or you'd disappear. Yeah. So after 500 years, who do you think was left? The people that either went along or disappeared. So now everybody's going along. And now we're in 825. Okay, dude, this is 2025. We have thousands of years of blind following happening. And so here we are, thousands of years later, believing the shit we've been listening to for 1,600 years because some bullshitter 300 years ago decided to make some ruling and nobody knows the fact that was the case. Well, isn't it what happened before that important? And if there's any truth to what I just said, isn't that important? Or is that unimportant? Because if you're relying on man to tell the truth, I think you'd be making a mistake.
So I think there's a bunch of things here. And this is how that guy Wes Huff got really popular, was because, Billy Carson was saying all these wild things and things that he had heard and watched on YouTube and read. And, he came in and rebutted all of it.
Well, again, that's also confirmation bias.
No, I know.
Like, why is Wes Huff the authority?
Well,
like I have him coming on the podcast one of these days because I reached out and he said, yeah, I'll come. And then I haven't followed up, but
yeah, follow up with him.
I would love to have him here because again, I'm open-minded.
No, I know you are. And
I am not stuck on this, but what I do know is what I'm saying isn't disputed. Well, Wes would say you are correct because I've talked to biblical
He would say you are correct in different things and incorrect in others.
No. What I'm saying is accurate. The difference is he, like you and a lot of other people, say, but he's okay with it because of these reasons, and they may be valid reasons. And I'm not saying he's not okay with calling him Jesus. Yeah. Just for the record, because again, everybody gets that twisted just because I'm so adamant that his name wasn't Jesus. Yeah. And so you got all these people calling him Jesus. Well, if they don't know any better, that's a good name to call him.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, once you know, why would you continue to use a name that was given to him by some man at some point because they couldn't pronounce it? And that's supposedly why they changed it. Perhaps it was a more dark power that changed it so we wouldn't know his name anymore. You ever think that might be the case? And so now he's got everybody calling him a name that wasn't even his. We're violating one of the commandments by making his name useless. You can't make it any more useless by just not using it. And then everybody thinks they're doing the right thing when in reality, nope, we were tricked. And again, if you read the Bible and you believe, it says the whole world will be tricked. By who? The trickster, the Lord of darkness. So we could be getting tricked is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, you touched on a million different things. So to give the 1 minute response, one, could you be right? Absolutely. Could you be right that we all need to be doing this and his name is becoming invalid because we're calling him the wrong thing? You could be right. So I'm not
saying it's invalid.
Yeah. The other side of the coin is back to context, right? Like if I am going to tell somebody about Jesus, clearly most people have heard of Jesus. Yeah. Right. And so, if I'm trying to bring somebody to faith, it's probably easier to communicate them with what they know. Like that's one reason why I would use the name, even if I know that his real name is this. And
why not just throw that in there?
But you see evidence of this even in the Bible. So when Peter is dining with these Jews, okay, at that time, Peter's in the new covenant. So you got to remember, like, to take a step back then, Jews didn't eat pork. They had all these rules, all this stuff. Peter gets this vision of him eating pork and all these different meats. And basically God is revealing to him, he's like, hey, it's okay. That no longer applies. You can eat anything. And he's like, no, I would never do that. That's against like my whole life of what I've been taught. And he says, no, it's all good. Like we're in the new covenant now. And, Peter goes, tells the disciples, he's like, it's cool now. Everyone can eat meat. But then you find that, he's telling these Jews this and they're like, no, dude, like we're never going to do that. And
because they denied the Christ.
Yeah, but even he's talking to Christians who believe in Jesus. He's like, no, like it's okay for us to have meat now. And they're like, no, it's like, we just don't do that. And what you find is Peter ends up.
You said he's talking to Christians. Christians didn't believe they couldn't eat pork.
This is right when it happened. Like these Jews had just converted to what we would call Christians now, right? So they haven't started practicing the new covenant. This is all brand new. Yeah. And so Peter's going to these guys who have never been told this before. And he says, hey, no, it's okay to eat anything. We don't have to follow this anymore. And they're like, no, dude, like it's not. And what we find throughout the New Testament is that there are certain people who still want to hold to old covenant laws. Mm-hmm. And Peter's basically like, you know what? I'm still just going to allow them to do that. And I will honor them by not eating something that is going to, cause them discomfort and everything else. And so even though he knows he can eat meat, he doesn't eat meat. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's basically like the whole point of with name or anything else. Like, hey, if somebody is really dead set on this, then cool, I'm going to honor that. Hey, if somebody, do I think drinking alcohol is a sin? No, I don't think drinking alcohol is a sin. Getting drunk is a sin. But if somebody has a problem with alcohol, I'm not going to drink alcohol around them, even though I know for me, it's not a problem. And so I just think a lot of these issues end up coming down to things like that, where it's like not you, but any Christian might be really dead set on one thing. And it's like, look, dude, if that's your conviction, all good. I got no problem with it. I'll honor that. It's all good. I may not necessarily agree with it. I may not disagree with it. I just may not have an opinion on it. But if you're that strongly about it, I'm good on that. So that's kind of how I see a lot of these issues. And then I would just say with the Nicene Creed and everything else, you could go watch videos that Wes and others have done. I mean, you said Christians weren't even called Christians. They were called Christians back then.
Nazarenes.
No, they started calling them It's in the gospel. They started calling them Christians like at that point. Go look in Acts. In Acts.
So if I show you that that's not the case, will you believe me on the rest of it?
Well, what you might call a Nazarene in Hebrew is whatever you know what I'm saying.
Jesus was from Nazareth.
I get that.
Okay, so his first followers were not called Christians; they were called Nazarenes. That's what they were called. They're the Nazarenes that are following around this guy named Yeshua.
But what happened?
Of Nazareth.
The disciples that followed him before his death and resurrection, right? That's a certain group of people. Then you have this whole new group of people that happens after his resurrection in Acts. And so
they might have called them Christians.
What?
They might have called those
That's
guys
who I'm
Christians.
talking about.
Yeah, but
they started to be called Christians after his death and resurrection. The disciples, they were cool with it. Well, other people started calling them Christians.
Yeah.
And that's just what it became. So like, this isn't like, hey, we're going to call ourselves Christians in 300. It was happening the moment.
Next year, we're going to change our brand.
Yeah. Like that. It was happening from the get-go is my point. The second thing is all the stuff that they decided at that had already been practiced. It's not like everybody was just, doing all these random things. They're like, hey, essentially, Brad, you guys have been doing XYZ. We've been doing XYZ. They've been doing XYZ. Like we all agree that these were written by the disciples. We all agree that these are what we read. Like so-and-so over here, they kind of like, they have all the things we have, but they also have this other one too. Like, what do we think about that? And it essentially formalized what had already been happening for hundreds of years. It's not like nobody was doing anything and they're like, okay, let's pick some books that we think are legit. It's like they've been practicing all these things for hundreds of years.
So then why did they call together 52 tribes and not the Jews?
Because the Jews don't believe in Jesus.
Neither do all the 52 tribes.
They called together all these churches and sects.
There were not followers. There was the Greek mythologists. There was the sun worshipers. There were the Hare Krishnas. There were a bunch of them. There was all kinds of them. That was the problem is if they didn't unify, it was going to make Rome fall. So emperor said, hey, let's get together and make a new deal.
Yeah, I forgot what
the new deal came out. Okay, everyone else, guess what? This is the deal or you're dead. And they started whacking anyone who didn't go along with it. Now, again, that's not godlike, first of all. Yeah. Second of all, if you look
I forget who the emperor was.
Constantine.
Yeah. So assuming that was him, I can't remember, but he became a convert of Christianity.
According to him.
Yeah. Later on in his life.
Which could be nonsense.
He could be.
Said he had a dream.
But either way, he claimed
I know, but he's a human being, dude. He's a man.
I mean,
men are sinful.
Has
there ever been a sinless man?
Just Jesus, right? But either way, everyone who wrote the Bible was a sinful man, right? Just is what it is. So
that's all I'm saying.
I know you're not wrong.
Take a peek, see. And by the way, like the stuff they wrote versus to what's now, people say, "Oh, there's never been a change." That's bullshit. They have changed it. Go read the book of Enoch. Well, it wasn't canonized because, who decided it wasn't anything? Enoch. Do you know who Enoch was?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, like,
but do you know why
Enoch was ascended to heaven supposedly without even dying? He was so righteous.
But do you know why the book of Enoch specifically isn't canonized?
No.
Because it's written hundreds of years after Enoch was alive.
So somebody called bullshit.
Well, it's a fact that the book of Enoch is not written by Enoch himself.
I know, but somebody called bullshit is why. But again, who's the somebody? A human.
Yeah.
And then and I don't want to turn this into a conversation about this, but the last thing is people say, well, I've seen demons cast out in the name of Jesus. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
And I always say this.
To preface this, I have seen that.
Okay, but watch this.
Okay.
Number one, who would demons work for?
Satan.
Okay. So if Satan was really clever, and from what I hear, he is.
Very.
And you really wanted to freaking make that name stick. Anytime someone says, in the name of Jesus, I want you to scram. I want you to act like it has power. Is that possible?
Well, the Bible tells us that Satan can't cast out Satan. But this is what the Bible says.
Is it possible that if the demon works for Jesus, I mean, for Satan,
yep,
that the demon has instructed, or that Satan has instructed the demons, that anybody uses this, and let's just pretend that I might be onto something.
Yep.
This name that I need them to actually believe and use and not stop using, and I want them to praise it and worship it because it's the wrong name, and that's his trick.
Yeah.
So anytime it's used, go ahead and vacate. Go ahead and scram so it reinforces their belief in this name. And again, I'm not saying that this is the case, Bible thumpers. All I'm saying is it possible that Satan is smart enough to trick us to where when you use that name and it causes demons to flee, that it's just his boss getting them to flee?
Yeah.
It's not the name, it's the boss tricking you so you believe in the power of that name because he doesn't want you to know the real name. Because for some reason, if you go back and study ancient deity, they will tell you that the way you would call upon the deity and get its strength and power is to use his name.
So since we want to just use logical arguments, so even though like casting out a demon is a very supernatural, non-logical thing, let's just take the logical argument of like, is this a good tactic for Satan? So you're basically arguing.
Is it plausible?
Well, let's just we acknowledge that Satan is smart and he's powerful. Okay. And his plan is, hey, let's screw up the world, right? Let's get people doing stupid things. Let's infect them with demons so that they're stressed out. They have anxiety. They're addicted to porn, drugs, alcohol. Let's ruin this person's life because we know that when this person's life is ruined, they're never going to get saved and find Jesus, and their life's going to be terrible, here on earth, and their eternity is also going to be even worse, right? That would be the typical blueprint for Satan today. And your argument is that, hey, you know what? If they happen to say the name Jesus, I want you to leave that person alone and stop tormenting them, and their life will be good. That's basically, so what, like.
Just to reinforce the power.
I get it. But I guess like my point is, okay, so.
That would be a tricky son of a bitch, would it not?
Like
that would be like, oh, in this argument, that's tricky.
In this argument, now all of a sudden, the person who's delivered from this demon, what we see in the Bible and what I've seen personally is now their faith is extremely high because now their life is completely changed. They're not being demonized anymore. They don't have these issues. They give their life to Christ. They're all in for Jesus. So now Satan just lost somebody by doing this.
We assume.
Right. And
or maybe he just gained somebody.
And by the way, now this demon, if, now we get into subjects of deliverance, but if done right, you send the demon to hell. Okay. You don't just let them roam free. The Bible tells them to cast them to the abyss. And so now that demon's gone forever. He's off the chessboard. Your pawn is gone.
Well, again, assuming you only have so many pawns, what's the demon?
And there is only so many pawns. We know that for a fact.
What is the demon possession that you've seen cast away?
Well, let me just add to this. We know that from Genesis that a third of the angels fell. And those are what we would call today the demons. So there is a limited amount of demons. It's not infinite. It's a third of the angels created.
How many angels were there?
We don't know, right?
Exactly. So it could be.
I'm just saying though, there is a finite number of demons.
What is the demon you've seen cast out?
I've seen multiple demons cast out. I mean, I have literally seen people in our Bible study like that we have prayed over that have screamed puked, and be delivered from demons.
So if I come to your Bible study and people pray over me, if I have a demon in me, will it come out then?
Potentially.
So what if it's me that's the demon and
I mean, you're not
causing me to confuse people?
It could be.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's the opposite. I think they don't want me to talk because I'm unconfusing people. But again, like I said, I don't know. And that's my honesty. I don't know, guys. I'm going to find out just like everyone else will.
Well, you know what
I just know what it says. And what it says is my children will know my name. So I know his name. I want you to know his name. You don't have to use his name. You don't have to choose him. You don't have to do any of it. You don't even have to believe. I don't care. All I'm saying is his name. I'm giving his name out. And if I'm in trouble for saying his name, his real name, well, then the whole thing's
and all I'm saying
bullshit anyway.
When I'm with you, I'm going to call him Yeshua all day, every day.
You better say it when you're there.
Yeah.
Because like if you came here and I said, hey, anybody that knows my name, let them in.
Yeah.
And you come to my door and you're like, Ralph here? They're like, who?
Well, no, I'm going to be like Bradley.
Exactly. And then they'd be like, come on in. Why? Because you know him. You obviously know him. You knew his name.
Yeah.
But if you show up talking about some name that was given to me by some dickhead 800 years after I was gone, and then everybody believed it.
Yeah.
Well, that's also saying very few will make it into heaven. Doesn't it say that too?
Yeah. Very few will.
Maybe very few will know his name.
The path is very narrow.
Yeah. Because everyone's so adamant that that's not his name.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep calling him by another name that man gave him.
I think we're both in agreement that, Jesus, Yeshua, either way, he is going to be accepting of those people, right?
I think he will.
And you might be right in that his preference is that name.
Yeah. And the fact that it was his name, he'll say, you did good, my son. You tried. Yeah. And I'll say, thank you. Thank you. Now back real quick.
Okay.
Making money. Okay. There's people listening. They've got businesses. They want to grow and scale their business. Give them two or three things that you would pay attention to in the next 3 months to get locked down so they can grow and scale their business. Just 3 basic things.
It just kind of depends where they're at in business. So let me just, I guess, take each person, right? The person just starting out trying to make money. Then let's take the person who's trying to get to 7 figures and the person who's trying to get to 8. So if you're just starting out trying to make money, the biggest advice I can give is you need to learn one skill that pays. I know that you've done like sales training and stuff before, like getting good at sales pays. You can make 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. It's applicable to when you start your own business, you got to learn how to sell. So I think like learning to sell something is pretty much the most valuable skill you can get. Now,
one of.
Yeah. And whether you're going to go sell and flip, because when I was flipping couches, that's just selling. If I'm trying to flip houses, I got to learn how to negotiate and get a good deal. So like sales is really, really important. So I think you got to learn how to do that. If you're trying to go from that to now, okay, how do I build a 7-figure business? Well, now you got to get really good at a new skill for whatever it is you're going to sell. So for me, I realized that I couldn't get to 7 figures flipping couches. So I went to a different vehicle, houses. Okay, clearly you can get to 7 figures flipping houses. And so, I just focus on the one skill of learning how to flip houses, and that's it. So I combine sales with house flipping. So I think at that point, somebody's going to have to pick a vehicle, because like you could go sell for somebody and it's like you're going to be capped at whatever you can make as a salesperson for any company, right? But all of a sudden you go start a business around some kind of niche, you sell, you can get to 7 figures. The moment you want to go from 7 to 8, so if you're in this boat, the new skill that has to be acquired is learning how to hire people. I mean, it's all good to know how to sell. It's all good to know how to like hustle and flip a house or whatever it is you do, but you're never getting to the next level unless you learn how to hire people and manage people and be a good leader and set a culture. And like, that's how you get to the next level.
You got to build the team, folks. You're not going anywhere by yourself. What about like, negativity?
I mean, dude, I get a lot of hate regardless.
Well, like Tai Lopez,
right?
I had him on my podcast and I asked him, what happened with all those investments you were doing? Like,
yeah,
I didn't know that he raised a bunch of money and then technically lost it all.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that it didn't do well. And so I was asking him, and he kind of shifted the subject. And because I didn't know much about it, I just kind of went on to the next subject. Well, then all the listeners were like, why didn't you grill him? I'm like, grill him how? First of all. Second of all, dude, you screw up. Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, we're grown men, people. You buy into somebody's shit, dude. Do your due diligence and take responsibility for it. Like, what if it had made billions?
Yeah.
Then what?
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like every investment, nothing is guaranteed, right? And
zero, dude. Every grown person that invests money knows that's why you are an accredited investor versus an unaccredited investor. It means you should know that there's risk in all of it.
Yeah. Well, and even the thing with him, and I don't know the full story either, but it's like he was buying bankrupt businesses.
Thinking he could turn them into shape.
But just knowing that as an investor, you're like, okay, this is a pretty risky thing that we're doing. We're buying businesses that have already failed, hoping that maybe we can revive them as because we're going to take their brand and sell other stuff. That's already hyper risky to begin with. That's like a interesting thesis that you're hoping works out.
Yeah, but they're grilling him for it.
No, I know. But it's like, if you're an accredited investor, you should know how risky this bet was, and it didn't pan out. But to your point, there's always risk reward. Like, hey, it's high risk, but guess what? If it does pan out, maybe we 10x our money. Maybe it's, who knows, right?
Roll the dice.
Yeah. And so you can't be mad.
You roll the dice, you have to let go and actually roll them.
Yeah.
Have you ever played dice?
Yeah.
Act like you're shaking the dice. Yeah, but just shake it. Don't roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just keep doing this, right?
I know what you're trying to do.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
You got to roll the dice. And guess what? Sometimes you're going to lose.
Yeah.
That's life, bro.
Yeah.
People need to realize that. Don't blame other people. Victim mentality is another trick of the devil's. They want you to believe that it's someone else's fault when in reality, it's your damn fault. You got responsibility, and you got what I think the true gift of in life is very simple. Free will. Like, you got the same free will as I do. You can choose to be positive and grateful and supportive and generous and kind and ethical, or you can choose to be fearful and anxious and worried and depressed and scarcity minded. Those are choices at the end of the day. We have free will. So again, once you realize, hey, you can choose heavenly energy or you can choose earthly energy. I call it heavenly and earthly. Heavenly energy is the same energy you would expect in heaven.
Yeah.
And earthly energy is the crap, the darkness. Personally, if I have a choice, well, dude, I want to operate here. I don't want to operate here. I want to live in the light with the truth. I don't want to operate in darkness and the evil and the depression and the anxiety and the fear and the worry and the doubt and the confusion. Is it really a choice? I think so.
Yeah.
It's called free will. And even though we live here around all this, we have to make the decision, the conscious free will choice to operate over here.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's difficult for some people. Fortunately, it gets easier and easier the more you're aware of it.
Yeah.
So just to wrap it up, because I know you said an hour, it's been a little more than an hour. You got the golf, M19, mastermind19.com.
Yep.
What other opportunities do you have for the bomb squad that you would be so inclined to offer them?
If they want to learn real estate investing, obviously we still do a lot of that. Wealthyinvestor.com. Help thousands of students get into flipping and wholesaling.
And that's a legit thing.
Yeah, we've been doing that for 8 years now.
Real estate. Have you ever think about buying and selling businesses?
I've sold a couple of mine that I've started, but
do you have any for sale now?
Maybe Wealthy Investor one day. We'll see.
Well, I know that buying and selling businesses, I've been doing the math.
Okay.
And I haven't seen any real estate deal come close to what that actually pays.
Yeah. Yeah. The multiple on businesses is way better.
And this cash flow.
Yeah.
It's an asset and it's cash flowing. And it's crazy. We'll talk about it offline. So real estate investment, what else?
Tent makers. So for the Christians. Yeah. So
tent or temp?
Tent makers. Yeah.
Why tent makers?
So the Apostle Paul, so we would call the Apostle Paul like the greatest evangelist of all time. I mean, he was out there starting all these churches, all this stuff. While he was doing that, he was a tent maker. That was his profession. He actually made tents for people. And so the idea is that as Christians, our job is not to just rely on pastors to do everything for us. And I think you would agree with this. It's not like our job to just send people to church on Sunday. It's like right here, right now, to have everyday conversations with people about faith, lead people to Jesus in just your workplace. Because, I mean, that's what Paul did. Paul worked a job as a tent maker while also spreading the gospel and supporting himself and doing the ministry.
I liked Wealthy Kingdom better, I think.
Well, part of the reason we changed was because as we started to get into the churches, a lot of them were turned off by the name.
Wealth.
Yeah.
See, again.
Yeah.
False doctrine.
Yeah. I don't think wealth's a bad thing, obviously.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. But
I think you could make it a bad thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, being wealthy
is not a bad thing.
If somebody out in the world thinks being wealthy makes you bad, they were educated incorrectly. And I think they should probably go research. Now that we have ChatGPT, assuming you trust it, people act like that's the gospel. It's just internet in 1 second.
Right.
But I don't believe it. I think it's your duty to be wealthy. And I think if you're a righteous person without money, you'll be a more righteous person with money.
Yeah.
I don't think it corrupts you. I think it magnifies you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I liked Wealthy Kingdom. I thought that was good because, again, dude, you keep finding things that will attract volume. There's a lot of freaking Christians. When I talk about Jesus, dude, everybody comes out of the woodwork. And it's like, now again, I don't go that direction. Why? Because I'm not trying to get that.
Yeah.
But I notice, I talk about relationships, how to treat a woman. Boom.
Lots
Crazy shares. I've had 40 million views and thousands of comment on, pay for dinner, loser. Like, and then the Yeshua name. So to me, there's a lot of faith-based people out there wanting to, learn from you. So, or anybody in a faith-based environment. So I liked Wealthy Kingdom, but now it's called Tent Makers.
Yep.
Is that tentmakers.com?
.us.
.us. Why .us? .com was taken?
Some guys own it for like 30 years. .org is taken. .com is taken. So
why wouldn't you just call them something else?
Because from a biblical perspective, it's like the most applicable name to the marketplace and what we all have an occupation.
Now, is that the annual event that you keep doing? So am I going to be speaking at Tent Makers?
No, you're speaking at WealthCon.
Oh, okay.
That's for wealthy investors.
Okay.
You are not speaking at Tent Makers.
Why can't I talk to them?
Oh, you could.
I'll go make them. They make their tents better.
They're going to be like, "What did I just attend? Like, what is this guy talking about?"
I might lead them all to the actual name.
You know what? You could talk about it at WealthCon.
Well, that's not why people bring me in. Funny.
Yeah.
All right. So, wealthy or tentmakers.us if you're a faith-based guy and you want to learn.
And that's all nonprofit. I don't make anything from that.
But it's how to bring, faith into the ministry and grow and develop your business with faith-based principles.
Yeah. And we have Bible studies and things all across the country that people can join. We'll do workshops and events and things that they can go to too.
Okay. And if I have a couple of your haters listening, what do you got to say to them?
I mean, nothing. I mean, they're great. You know what Cardone taught me one day?
What?
And I've kind of kept this mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on good terms with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
why wouldn't I be?
I don't know, dude. You've told me throughout the years, you guys have always.
Listen, he's transactional and I'm relational. That's what I said on the last go round.
Yeah.
I just talked to him the other day. I want to see if he wanted to do this big development deal in Montana with me. He's like, not really, dude. I'm not really a developer guy.
He likes buying them done.
He wants to buy them done. He wants cash flow day one. But me and him still talk. We're just not besties like we used to be.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I think he said one thing that's really kind of stuck with me, and to make it lighthearted, he's like, haters are just confused fans. And I was like, that's an interesting way to look at it. But then you start thinking about it and you're like, yeah, I mean, these people literally watch all your stuff, go deeper into your life than normal fans would ever do, watching every move, doing everything. And you're just like, that is kind of like a weird mindset to have with somebody.
Well, I always think that haters see something in you that they lack and it pisses them off. So if they think, oh, you think you're so cool, it's because they don't think they're cool enough.
Yeah.
They want to be cooler and they don't think they're cool. So they hate you because you're cool. And they're the ones thinking it, but they're projecting on you that you must think it.
So it goes back to confused.
Like you don't walk up to a short guy that's 5'4" and go, you think you're so tall. Do you?
No.
No. Why would he think he's tall? Well, I don't think he's tall. Why would he think he's tall? But when I say, you think you're so cool, Ryan. Oh, I must think you're cool. So I think haters are confused fans. But I also think sometimes you got to watch out.
Yeah.
Because dude, there's some wackos out there.
Yeah.
And they could hate you so much that you are in danger now.
Yeah.
So again, I've never blocked people. I'm starting to block them.
Yeah.
Like talk shit, I'll just block you.
Why are people hating on you?
I get less hate than most people, but dude, because I'm online, man. I had somebody say, this guy's a scam. I called him online. I called him and I had a conversation when he was done, dude. He was saying, dude, I'm sorry, man. I just deleted my post.
Yeah.
I can't believe you actually took the time to call. I've been following you for years. And, turns out he was just a fan that was pissed that in his mind, I was screwing him. When I called him, I said, what do you mean? Well, this program of yours, and they asked me for $5,000. I said, well, first of all, that's a deposit, my friend. I said, you get that back if you don't quit. And they should have told you that. Well, they did, but like, why would I need to make a deposit? I said, because I don't want to waste my time with quitters. So if you're not a quitter, give me a deposit. And as soon as you complete it, I'll give it back. Just like if I want to do a free event, I'm going to charge $1,000 and you'll get it back when you show up.
Right.
If you don't show up for the event, you pay the $1,000 to not show up.
Right.
Because I want to do more free events.
Yeah.
I got a room downstairs. Why not?
Right.
But I'm not going to put on a room, order the food, cater the things, bring in the speakers, and then have 9 people show up because 60 said they would because it was free and they don't lose anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start charging and then give it back when they walk in the door. And if they don't walk in, thank you very much for the contribution to my event. That's what I'm going to do. That's what you should do.
Well, at our tent makers events, what I do is for our little workshops we do them once a month now. It's just a name your own donation. They name whatever donation they want, helps the ministry, and it gets them to show up.
Yeah.
So that could be something you could do.
Good rule. Any way the bomb squad can help you personally?
That's it, man. Just it's good to always hang out with you. We'll golf again. I'll get you on one of the trips, and we'll have a good time.
Just make sure there's 4 boxes of balls. One time
I'll have 4 boxes of balls, whiskey, and a cigar.
Not whiskey, I don't drink. But I'll tell you what's funny is one time I said, hey, bring a box of balls. And he goes, you mean a sleeve? I said, no, a box.
Yeah.
He goes, you need a box of balls? I said, yeah. He goes, why? I said, because I don't chase them. Dude, they're only a couple bucks, man. Let it go. Like, you think I'm going to go dig around in the brush trying to find a little white ball? Like, why not just drop another one and keep on playing? That's what I suggest in life, folks. Relax. That's why when people say you only have one shot, that's bullshit, dude. How many shots have you had?
A lot.
Me too. You only get one opportunity in life. Nonsense. Ryan, appreciate you coming in. Folks, go follow the dude at Ryan Pineda.
Yep.
And, you guys heard the rest. It'll be in the links in the description. Hit subscribe, like, share it out. You might find somebody listens to this and finds the true name of our Father. Until then, till next time, keep it real.